Marisha, hi.
Marisha, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Sohan.
Hi.
What's your name?
Jessica.
Triska.
Jessica.
Jessica. Where are you guys from?
Cape Town.
South
Cape
Africa,
Town.
yeah.
We moved
Do you live here? Oh, you moved here.
No, we didn't move here.
We're here for a year. Au pairing.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
good. We're animal rights activists, and we want to do a little bit of experiment with you. How
Okay.
do you feel about animals?
Yeah. About animals.
Yeah.
I think they're better than humans, to be honest.
They're better than
I
humans.
love animals. I feel like they deserve so much more than what we give them, and like they have such beautiful, pure souls, and like just the like circle of life and the way that nature is. I think it just shows that this planet was made for animals, and we definitely don't give them enough respect.
Do you think that when you see an animal, there's somebody behind those eyes? There's
Definitely.
an individual who feels who
I definitely think that animals have feelings, especially like specific animals like elephants, who are very, very intelligent, and like dolphins definitely have feelings.
chimps.
But yeah, definitely. They're very, very intelligent
Yeah.
beings, and I think definitely that they have feelings and a soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wanna do
Yeah,
this?
well, how about you first? 'Cause you didn't get to share any of your thoughts on animals yet.
Yeah.
I love animals. Growing up, I was always on the farms. So animals have a special place in my heart. And truly, I wish I could adopt them all. But I cannot because my house is not big enough to get a cow. But growing up with my family, we always went to the farms, and yeah, I love them.
Do you have any animals in your lives right now?
I have
I
a
have a-
dog
I have a dog.
and a snake.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Would love to get a cow,
Yeah.
but it's just not in the budget
Oh,
for
cute.
one.
So we'll start with like a little thought experiment. I think I already can predict your answers because you've sort of told us how you feel about animals. But like, imagine you're walking down the street and you see someone and he's just relentlessly punching a dog. You have three options. Option A is you can join him and help him beat the dog. Option B is you can walk by and do nothing. And option C is you can try to help the dog somehow, even if it just means like calling the police. Which of those would you choose?
Option C.
Definitely.
Help the dog.
Yeah. Option C. I feel like practically, it's a bit of a difficult situation if it were to practically happen. Like, I do wonder, would I just walk away or would I help? I feel like it would be dangerous to like go up to the person and like try and stop it. But I think definitely like calling, I don't know what you call, but like calling someone, making sure that
Yeah, that's why I said like
Yeah.
option C can also involve like calling the cops.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example.
So that you're safe, right?
yeah.
To-
But what if when you're trying to stop them, or when the police is trying to stop them, or whatever, they're telling you that the dog doesn't feel pain because they gave them an injection so they don't feel pain, and they're doing this for exercise because they need to exercise.
Yeah, that's. I feel like in the moment it's difficult to say exactly. I think what I would do, but
What you want.
yeah, I mean, I'm a
Later on, I'll get
yeah,
the
yeah.
words in. I'm like,
I
oh,
feel like
no.
in the moment I would just cry because I'm a very emotional person. I wouldn't
Yeah.
really know what to say exactly, but I mean, hopefully I would have someone by me, like either a friend or someone who we can both help to try and reason with the person. Because I mean, even if
We need to exercise.
yeah, I mean, but that's not the best way to exercise. Like, obviously, if someone is in that place and they are believing that, they're not going to stop just because you say it. Like,
It goes further. Like,
Yeah.
it's mental issues at that.
yeah. I mean,
The
and
question
also,
is-
why are you doing it in public?
The
Because-
question is, what if it's moral or not? If it's right or
Oh,
wrong?
definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
And what if he thinks that that's the best way to exercise? And what if not that just that he thinks it? He says it's a choice, right? Because everybody can choose how they want to exercise at the end of the day, and he chooses to exercise by punching a dog.
I think the best way is you can explain your opinion on why this is not the best choice to
Yeah.
that person. Express how you feel about it. Hear him out. And
But why is it wrong? I'm sorry for interrupting you there. Like, that's a question. Like, why would that be wrong? Because he does this as a choice. He tries for the dog to not feel pain, and he thinks that's the best way to exercise. So shouldn't he just continue doing it?
Well, I would say it's wrong because, yes, even if in the moment the dog doesn't feel pain, it's still going to sustain injuries. And even afterwards, the dog will have that mental thing of like, humans will hurt me or this person is hurting me. Like, it's going to have that fear. So even if in the moment it's not necessarily like he's not feeling the physical pain. There's emotional pain attached to that, and that is like an individual living creature. So it's morally wrong because it's inflicting pain onto a creature that, whether or not in the moment they feel it or not, later on it's going to have an effect on that creature.
What if he kills them afterwards?
Then yeah, that's
So there's no
that's
more.
the consequence of his actions, and that's why it's morally wrong, because it's a living creature.
And hopefully he will have guilt with it.
Hopefully,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like that the main thing that was sort of missing from his analysis or whatever is like he wasn't really considering the perspective of the dog. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
It sounds like that.
It's kind of like he's only thinking of his
You.
perspective.
Okay, so so you wouldn't accept these excuses. Like you said, like you would maybe struggle to reason with him, but you wouldn't accept any of these as like a justification, right? Okay, so I want to switch gears now and ask you, like, do either of you eat any animals?
Yeah, I do.
Which ones? Cows, chickens, pigs, fish,
Cows,
any of those?
chicken
And just cow.
beef, fish, yeah.
Do you think that in the process of those animals like arriving on your plate, they have to endure anything worse than just being like punched?
I think there are many of those animals, for example chickens, that like live in coops and like fishing farms where a lot of the fish are at danger of infections. Definitely they go through a lot of physical and mental pain. Yeah.
But what if it's nice? It's a nice place. They don't go through small cages. They have a nice small yard. They still get killed though, but
I think that's okay because I mean I am a follower of Christ, and according to the Bible, according to my beliefs, the animals that were on this earth, that God put on this earth, were made for human consumption.
they were not.
And
That's not what the Bible says. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but that's not true.
okay,
Well, the Bible says that we have dominion over animals.
yeah.
In that manner, the person kicking the dog for exercise could justify it by saying, I have dominion over animals, right?
I guess you could think of it that way. I mean, it's I guess you have to kind of have your own interpretation of what the Bible is saying, because the Bible can be very, very symbolic.
Yeah.
So I think personally what I take from it is, yes, humans do have dominion over the animals, but in Genesis, God did say that he is giving us this responsibility. So therefore it is our responsibility to take care of the earth. So yes, we have dominion, or we have been given the power to nature and the world, but it's our responsibility to take care of it. And if we don't do that, then there will be consequences. So it's more responsible to make sure that the animals first are being raised healthily, being fed correctly, and have a safe living environment before we
So if we
use
do
them
that
for
to the
food.
dog, like, because you seem to think that if we use them for food, if we kill them for food, it's all of a sudden okay. But if we kill them for exercise, it's not. We both need both food and exercise, and we have alternatives for both. So what's the difference between these two situations? Killing an animal for food or killing them for exercise?
Killing an animal for food, it's you physically need food to live.
So you need exercise to be
You do
healthy.
need exercise, but there are much better ways to exercise than beating an animal.
Just like there is much better ways for the animal for you to get food, right?
That's true, but I mean, the human body is made to consume protein, and there are many people, vegetarians, who are fine with that, who don't need meat. But I mean, I think personally, it would be difficult for me personally to supplement my the diet that I eat with. If I were to completely cut out meat, then I would have to get that protein and all the other nutrients from that food from somewhere else.
How difficult would that be?
I think it depends on the person, because I do know quite a few people.
For you.
For me personally, I think it's just I've eaten meat for so long, so it would be difficult to let that go.
Would it be
And-
easier if somebody killed you?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. So it's more difficult to be killed than it is for you to find a different source of protein.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just go back to the thing of, animals, at least in my opinion, in my belief, God put animals on the earth to be cared for.
For stewardship. For dominion and stewardship. How is it dominion and stewardship to choose to kill them when you don't need to? Only because it's more convenient for you to do so. Like, for instance, if I drive my car and there's just a herd of buffaloes in front of my car, and I could just... I would have to wait 5 minutes for them to walk by, which would be extremely inconvenient. I would be late for work. My boss would be upset. or I could just ram into them, kill a bunch of them, and then get to work, because that would be the more convenient thing for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see.
Which one you see what I mean? Like, it
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
be a
yeah.
good justification for me to take their life, would it?
Yeah. No, definitely not. I think it is all about balance. I mean, I think in nature, you know, plants are there, and we have everything that we need here on Earth, like plants for medicine and animals for food and plants for food. And I think it depends on the balance. You can't just go around killing millions of animals and just say it's for food. There has to be a balance. Like, for example, if you kill 5 pigs, you're
Optional
gonna.
food, by the way.
Sorry.
Optional food, just to be clear.
Yeah, for some people. I mean, I believe
For
that,
you, for me, for her, for him.
Yeah,
Optional food for us.
that's true. But yeah,
So I don't understand what you mean by balance in this context, right?
So it's like-
given that it is optional for us, right? So like, for example,
Yeah.
in the case of like, you know, hitting dogs, like punching dogs for exercise, I don't think that you would advocate for like sort of a balanced approach where people punch dogs a couple days a week for exercise, but they go to the gym like other days, right? Because if you recognize that there's something happening to this individual that you think is wrong, and you recognize that you don't need to do it, and you even acknowledge that you have a responsibility towards these individuals, right? Like that's exactly how you described it. I don't understand how then, like, balance means let's abuse some of them, but not all of them.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of you know, eating animals for food, I don't think of abuse in that way, because it is, well, animals on the planet that is there for food, and it depends on how you take care of them. That's what I mean by balance. So like, you can't just have like 5 pigs and then kill them. You should like raise some of them and use one of them.
What's the logic for that?
For food, for survival.
Yeah, but what if I eat all 5 pigs?
What if you kill 5 pigs? So I mean,
Eat all of them.
eat all of them. See,
At
I
once.
mean, that's
I
like,
get really fat, but it is food, right?
yeah, it's food, but it's not a responsible choice of
Why?
of the animals, because you're using up all of the food when you could prolong it. It's you're taking all of the food away
Why
at
would that be
once.
bad to the animal?
I mean, it's more about like your own personal decision, like why are you choosing to kill the 5 pigs, you know?
But why are you choosing to kill 1 pig when you could
Yeah.
just kill 0?
That's the point. That's the point that we're trying to make. You seem to think that killing 5 pigs for greed, because you eat a lot, would be bad, but killing 1 pig for the same reason, because it's a greedy thing, right? It's not, or convenience, or whatever you want to see it, but it's not a necessity. That's what we know for sure. Why is that any different?
Well, I mean, I believe that, you know, obviously survival, you need to eat food. So for me, that is
Not
the
flesh.
justified.
I could justify saying I could kill and eat humans because I need to eat food. But you would say that's insane because you have other alternatives. If I say I can kill and eat animals for food, I would say the same thing. It's insane because we have other alternatives. Why is it that we can say we need food? We don't need animals. We need food, not animals. We need nutrition, not coming from their flesh, not from their abuse, for their, you know, what we do.
Well, you can look at it that way, but if you look at the body, like scientifically and biologically, our bodies are made to digest protein.
Protein
that's-
comes from plants also.
That's true, but you don't get it in such great amounts. And
Oh, I
the
got
the-
300 grams of protein yesterday. Do you know how many grams of protein did you get?
How much? But like, how much do you eat to gain that same protein?
Oh, I eat a lot. That's in all fairness. But let me just put it this way: I can easily get to 30% of my diet be protein, be calories coming from protein, and that's on the high end of protein. Like that's a really high in protein diet that you want to have. So, and I can easily achieve that. I could, without even thinking about it, go to 20%, which is still a high protein diet, but not the highest, without even thinking about it, without even worrying. You can get there simply by eating plant products like tofu, like tempeh, like seitan, or like soy chunks, because these are monumentally better when it comes to protein, because animal flesh also has a lot of fat, which has a lot of calories. So if you have a limited amount of calories and you want higher in protein, you obviously choose the protein that's lower in calories. Well, it's not that it's protein, but the source that is lower in calories, because protein has the same amount of calories regardless of the source.
And just to be clear, like when he says eating a lot, it doesn't mean like needing to overeat or like having to eat too many calories, right? It just means like I mean, like he just eats a lot because
I eat a lot.
he's very active and lifts and stuff, and he just like would be eating a lot regardless of whether he was eating animal products or
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
But the
So-
point being made is just, like this is also something like every major dietetic association in the world has come out with a statement saying that you can meet all of your nutritional needs eating fully plant-based. So like with that knowledge, and of course we can get into that, but I think if you sort of look into that on your own, you'll also find that this is the case. And then the question just becomes, okay, if you can accept that we don't need to do this, then what is the justification, right? And that's always what it comes back down to. It's just like every individual animal, even if it's just one, valuing your convenience over their life is like a massive disconnect from most people's values, I would say. I would assume also for you, like, I don't know like what your thoughts are on this. 'Cause you
I'm
kind of
currently I'm
eat that.
actually in like a vegetarian household, so I've been eating meat for like the past couple of days.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting my protein from different substances. So
Yeah.
I'm in like the in between.
Is this just because of like your au pair?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
But to be honest, like back home, I wasn't eating a lot of meat either way.
Yeah.
I just wasn't my favorite meat to eat.
Yeah.
I would find different things for me. My family would like I got vegetarian stuff for my house. So I'm kind of just like in between, but I get everyone's point.
Yeah. So yeah, we're also like, just to be clear, we're not specifically talking about, we're not advocating for vegetarianism, because vegetarianism is just a diet where you don't eat meat. We're advocating for veganism, which is really more of a philosophical decision, right? So the idea is just about, like I would describe it as extending like the most basic rights that we believe all humans should have to other animals. Most people already believe this in the case of dogs. Like the things that you said earlier when you were talking about dogs, about not punching them, respecting their basic bodily autonomy, respecting their basic right to live. We're just advocating for extending that to all animals. And so then the consequence of that, of course, once you stop viewing animals as resources for our use, or objects for our use, the consequence, of course, is that you change your diet, you change maybe what you wear, avoid leather, fur, wool, silk, you avoid supporting animals in entertainment, like zoos, circuses, dogfighting, horse racing, all these things, and also experimentation on animals. So you're buying things like cosmetics, for example.
Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah.
I'm taking your opinions. And
Yeah.
think.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, all I would ask you to do is just
Do
think,
research.
do research, but also like actually make changes, right? And think about it from the victim's perspective, because I think the moment that you look at it from that perspective, we can talk. I can sort of explain to you abstractly why, for example, in dairy and egg industries, the same kind of things happen. But really, what it comes down to is just this mindset that we have that animals are objects for our use. The moment you impose that on them, everything else that happens in the industries just follows from basic economics, right? It's just like
You can justify anything.
they're just profit-driven industries, and so of course they're going to, whenever these animals can't generate a profit anymore, they just kill them. And so there's no like this sort of fantasy farm that people have, where like this animal has this beautiful life, and then one moment to the next, they're just instantly killed. That doesn't exist. And I would argue that even if it did exist, I don't think you would be okay with that in the context of a dog, right? Like if I adopted a puppy and then she grew up into a bigger dog, and then at some point, she was totally healthy, she loved her life, and then at some point I took her out into the woods, and when she wasn't looking, shot her in the back of the head. I don't think you would say that I did something that's okay. I think if anything, you would argue that it might even be worse to take a life from someone who's so attached to it, because presumably she wants even more to keep living. She's had such a good life. So,
and they put their trust, they trust you. We don't talk enough about how fucked up it is that we, like the farmers who do take care of the animals, they're not in an industrial setting. The animals get attached to the farmer. I don't know what your relationship with your parents but my parents were not there when I was young. So that definitely impacted me as an adult, So I do therapy and stuff, but like it had an impact for the fact that my parents went to work and came back. Imagine how fucked up it is when we in animal agriculture, we take away the babies from all the mothers, because we need to control everything they do, what they eat and everything. So imagine how fucked up it is for that single animal to grow up without a mother, without a father, to then be stabbed in the throat whenever the farmer says, for them to see the only individual they can trust as this weird looking other thing, like a human. And then at some point, this human just puts you on a truck, you get shit scared, and then you smell the blood, because when they go to slaughterhouses, they have big noses, they smell the blood. And then somebody puts a bolt gun through your head and cuts your throat, and that bolt gun only works like 50% of the time or something. and sometimes they have their throat cut and they wake up with them draining blood. Like, it's just fucking insane what we do to them. And we can't possibly call ourselves animal lovers or that we respect animals when we pay for them to happen. Do you want to see like a little bit of what they go through? Because I can show you. Give me a second.
No, yeah, I remember my family and I, we watched a documentary once of like a cow industry, of the milking industry, and it really was extremely grotesque, and it's so.
Are you ready?
It's I'm very queasy.
He's gonna put it here. If you
Yeah.
want to look at it, you take it and look at it. Okay? I'm not gonna force you to look at it. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
This is a slaughterhouse for a dairy cow. Like, this is pretty common regardless, right? Like, it's the most quote unquote humane way they do it. You see, they cut their throat and they leave them hanging upside down to drain the blood. It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is just one part of it. This whole magazine is full of it.
Yeah, I think it's important. I'm glad that you both looked, even though you.
No, I think definitely important to be aware. Yeah.
Because I think like it's very easy for us to get bogged down in these abstract conversations about
Yeah.
like, oh well, what are our values? Let's
Yeah,
let's look at these hypotheticals. But fundamentally, what this conversation comes down to is like,
what's really happening.
when you buy this sandwich, you pay someone to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you okay with continuing to do that when you can just eat something else?
Yeah.
Right.
We can
So-
get everything we need otherwise. We wouldn't be advocating, just to be clear, we're not assholes advocating for people to be unhealthy, for
Yeah.
people to die. We're here to speak up for their behalf because we
yeah.
can. Because
Definitely.
unfortunately, yeah, we've been doing it forever, but now we're in a moment when we no longer need to do it. Where we just have to cut off this dependency. So, it's unfair to them for us to continue doing it. It's also
we just see this like an injustice, like any other.
Yeah.
Right? And I would argue the biggest injustice
Yeah,
the
yeah.
world has ever seen.
by numbers for
Scale
sure.
of it is
Yeah.
Do you guys have a social media?
Yeah, I'll give you.
Yeah.
I'll give you a card. I'll give you both a card. Let me give.
Yes, please.
I also want to ask you, like, are you willing to make some concrete changes after this? Like,
I think definitely. I mean, it's always been kind of like always been kind of like a floating type of decision, because I mean, there is that one side of like the justification of, oh, it's food, like you need to eat food, you need protein or whatever, but definitely, I mean, going into your own research and also seeing the reality of it, I mean, it's terrible, the fact that the industry, just the slaughtering industry, food industry in general, that this is happening and it is a reality, and it's not like there's no, I mean, there are restrictions, but they don't follow them, and you can choose healthy options like free range and stuff like that. But yeah, I think
Those are just labels for us, right?
no, a lot of them are
Animals
just
is
labeled
the
like
same.
free range. They say free range, but it's just a hooped up cage where they can't
like
walk
one big
around,
barn or something.
but they're all,
And all these-
on top of each other.
And all these labels, just to add on top of it, all these labels that we as animal rights activists have fought for, these companies actually fight against constantly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even if they try, even if they make advertising saying, look how much we care for animals, that's why we have this label. But in the back end, they go and fight against this label because they don't like doing this. Because they need as much profit as it's possible.
Yeah.
So animals, corporations, everything, like paying for this is just like simply making the world a little bit worse in every
Yeah,
single way.
yeah.
Because we're just, all your money goes towards some companies who literally lie to you, who pay politicians to do this to you, who are the scourge of the earth, if you ask me. Like, I
Yeah.
think anybody who has a slaughterhouse, who works in this industry, is either in some form of willful ignorance or they're actually a bad person, because there's no way to do this to animals and see yourself as doing it good. Not today. In the past, you could have said that it's a necessary evil, but since it's no longer necessary, now it's just evil.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank
I
you
want to
so
leave you
much
with,
for.
one more thing,
Yeah.
which is I have these flyers that
Thank you.
so they're double-sided. So here is a map of all vegan restaurants in Amsterdam while you're here.
wow.
And then on the other side, what I want to point you to is something called Challenge 22. It's completely free, 22-day challenge. They send you recipes every single day, and they give you access to dietitians if you have any questions about
Oh
nutrition.
wow, that's amazing.
Because like we really focused here on why to go vegan.
Yeah.
Once you have that strong reason why, you'll figure out the how.
Yeah,
And obviously
that's-
offer you
no, that's
support with
so
that.
cool.
But like
Yeah.
what we want to drive home today is that like what we do to animals is wrong. And if you don't want to be part of that, if you want to, when people, I think this is something that in the future people will look back on this and think that it's horrific. And you now have the choice about which side of history you want to be on when people look back on this, right? And so that will point you to resources that will help you with the practical side, help you understand where you can get all your nutrition, make sure that you're healthy. But really, that strong reason why is what's going to be motivating. Because without that, like, you're just going to walk away and not care.
Yeah, no, it's
But I
amazing.
want to impress on you.
Yeah, first of all, like
Thank you so much.
to bring this to attention
And
and
I also
then
want
give
to give
us.
you like a small prize just to say thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, this is amazing because it's like actually something practical that because like if I just walked away, I would have no idea where to start. But this is like such a beautiful practical way to actually go into it. Thank you very much.
So is that something that 22-day challenge, is that something that you two would be willing to try out together?
Yeah, no,
Because like I think also if you have each other's support, it can be like a fun little thing that you can hold each other accountable.
definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And if you
Thank
need to share with
Continue doing
people,
what you're doing.
if you need to share with people what it is, I think you also have a video there. There's a video by Gary, an activist called Gary Yourofsky. It's a very good. It's a very nice video to watch. And you can share it. It doesn't show the graphic footage that is here, but it kind of talks about what we talk about. So if you ever want to kind of revisit that idea, watch that, and maybe share it with others and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day further.
So, are you from the States?
Yeah, I am.
Or what part of the States are you
I grew up in Ohio.
from? Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Have you been?
I've been to the States, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've traveled there quite a bit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. How'd you feel about that conversation, Mr. Sohanovic?